Welcome, everybody, in the Movie Guys verse. This is Jordan here, part of Movie Guys Podcast. We wanted to say thank you so much for downloading this most recent episode. If you don't know what Movie Guys Podcast is, we are a new movie review show that is updated weekly. You can check us out at movieguyspodcast.com and also movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. Sit back and enjoy the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of Movie Guys Podcast. And tonight we're talking about Pet Semetary, the 2019 remake. I don't want to go down this road. How about you, Eric? How are you doing?
Better than a little girl who got stuck. Now I'm bad at it. I'm doing all right, man. I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little overwhelmed. Just because this trailer I think was better than the movie. Ed, how about you?
I clawed my way through it.
There we go.
We gotta stop now. You just acknowledge it. Yeah, Ed's gonna bring.
Yeah,
but
I'll
as
just
far
do it.
as like Stephen King movies go, though, because we seem to be getting more and more now, whether it be Dark Tower or It.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is our third movie in our Stephen King series, and we will end our year. Well, we'll end September with the fourth movie in the Stephen King series with It Chapter 2. So that'll be exciting to see. So tonight we're talking about Pet Semetary, a movie that I hold near and dear to my heart. Pet Semetary and I go together like peanut butter and tuna fish.
Yeah, sounds.
Yep. Wow.
Probably
Wow.
about right. Why did they decide to redo this movie now? Is it just? I mean, it's a cash grab, right?
No, this movie was greenlit for production in 2006. It was in development hell until 2010, until they had an A-list Hollywood actor signed on to play Judd. That actor that signed on to play Judd was none other Mel Gibson.
Ooh.
All right.
Mel Gibson was signed on to play Judd. Stephen King was going to write the screenplay. The movie became in production in hell. Mel Gibson in his trouble, calling a cop sugar tits and all those things, and just everything fell through. The movie was shelved, and then with the production of It, the studio knew that they had a hit on their hands, and they started filming last August of last year, so a month before It was released, to do this movie. So they were planning on making this over 10 years ago.
It just so happens, strike right after It. I wonder if we're going to get more and more, even after
We will.
the disaster that it is Dark Tower. Do you know that? Because what else? We had, a bunch of others, it seems. What was another big one? The Fog, right? Wasn't that? Or The Mist?
Yep. The Fog was a movie that came out in the early 2000s. That was a remake. The Mist was a movie, now a show.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about new movies that are coming out, the sequel to The Shining, Dr. Sleep, will be coming out either this year, 2020, starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Little Danny.
Interesting.
Dr. Sleep
Very interesting.
Dr. Sleep is a very terrible novel. So I am not interested in seeing this movie because Danny joins a traveling circus and it's just not even The Shining. But Pet Semetary.
Shining.
Yeah. So I want to talk about Pet Semetary, the history of the actual novel before we get into the nuts and bolts of the show here, because this is really a big movie for me. So Stephen King wrote the original novel back in 1979 because of a real life experience. When you see this movie, even the 1989 movie, this is based off of Stephen King's family, husband, wife, 10-year-old daughter, 2-year-old boy. And the reason why he wrote the novel was because his family was on a picnic. His boy was flying a kite. His 2-year-old boy ran into the road. Stephen King saw him and tackled him inches before being hit by a semi-truck. That happened in real life. So he decided to write down with pen and paper a what-if scenario if he did not save his son. What would have happened?
Jesus. Way to take inspiration from literally anywhere.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right? Yeah, that was a real story. Stephen King's wife read the story when he was done with it, and she said, "Do not publish this," and he did it anyway because it was so traumatic for her. Um, the for the original movie in 1987, 2 years before the movie was actually made in '89, um, Paramount wanted to buy the movie rights completely for $1 million, and Stephen King gave him a counter offer, and they signed on it. The counter offer was you could buy the rights for $1,000, and I get full writing credit on the screenplay, and they agreed.
Oh, probably a good fair trade then.
Yeah. Well, I would have said that's a terrible counteroffer. Stephen King, you need to learn to negotiate.
No,
Say $1 million, but I get to write the screenplay. Done.
no. Well, see, ever since The Shining in 1980, Stephen King hates movie studios. He feels that they bastardize his films. They bastardize his work, I would say.
Well,
So
they
he
kinda-
has to
have you
have
ever seen The Langoliers?
Well, yeah.
One of my favorite bad movies of all time. Like literally Pac-Man eat time and space. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Great when you get to imagine it in a book. But when you watch the dude from Green Mile running scared because Pac-Men are eating time and space.
I wonder if Stephen King had seen Room 237, that documentary
He has.
about
He has.
the Cooper. Oh, okay. And what are thoughts? Because as you're saying that he disliked the original, the Kubrick version, and for good reason, I can understand that. But yeah, why?
So I'll make it short and sweet. Stephen King was really excited to do The Shining back in 1980 with Stanley Kubrick. Kubrick is famously calling Stephen King at 3 o'clock in the morning, asking him if he believes in heaven and hell. Creeps out Stephen King and completely bastardize his novel. I have read The Shining, and the movie, the classic, not the 1997 TV show, but the 1980 classic, is 100% different than the book. There is no Indian burial ground. There is no Room 237. There is no dog sucking a guy's dick. There's none of this. There's
Take all the good
absolutely none of
parts,
it.
you know?
There is a great part in the book where all the hedge mages come alive and start attacking people. And one of the big differences in the end of The Shining was instead of a baseball bat, he goes around and kills them with a croquet mallet.
Yeah. And the hotel blows
So-
up. Scatman Crothers doesn't die either.
No. So Stephen King's like, fuck this. I have to have full say. And that's where we get Pet Semetary in '89. Scared living shit on me as a kid. Eric, have you seen the original Pet Cemetery in 1989?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right? Scared living shit out of me. I think the thing that scared me the most was Zelda. Rachel! Oh, God. I don't know what's
Quick confession time. I have never watched the original Pet Sematary all the way through in one sitting.
because of Zelda.
No, because I was a child and then it just went past me and then I got to be an adult. And it's just not something I would never want to. I always got the pop culture references, but it's just not something I ever wanted to imagine because that is almost fucking too real for me. Seriously.
Sure.
So, I mean, not that I live in a town where there's an ancient burial ground that brings people back to life, but we all could.
We all could. So I don't know what's scarier, Zelda or the bend neck lady for me. Those two just fucking creep me out.
From
I don't know.
House on Haunted Hill. Yeah, it's,
Yeah, they both creep me out.
they're pretty
Okay. So we're going to dive deep here into the Pet Sematary 2019 remake, but tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. I have prepared my own plot summary for everybody here. I thought this movie definitely needed it. And from here on, I will be presenting my own plot summary that is my own, not stole from Wikipedia or IMDb or anything else. So you got yourself a Jordan original here, boys.
Oh boy. Jordan, normally I'm proud when you can actually string two sentences together.
Thank you.
So this should be something special. I'm
Thank you.
waiting.
Took me 2 days to write this plot summary. So if you are a fan of Pet Sematary and you don't want to know what happens yet, this is going to be a spoiled Phil review like we always do. So without further ado, let's get into Pet Sematary. Lewis Creed has almost everything: his wife Rachel, his 2 kids, Gage and Ellie, and a house cat named Church. But there's one thing Lewis does not have, which is faith. Lewis is a doctor who finally is going to live a simple life. He moved his family from the big city of Boston and moved to a small town in Maine to become a doctor at a local university. Upon moving into their new country home, Ellie notices a gathering of children heading to the pet cemetery. Ellie follows the children as she notices a blockade of vines and bushes. Judd, the old man neighbor, stops Ellie before she could go over the debris and warns her that beyond the vines and bushes, that it is pure evil. After the house cat Church is ran over by a semi-truck on Halloween, Judd tells Lewis what actually lies beyond the pet cemetery. And what lies beyond the pet cemetery is an old swampland. The ground is sour, and when something is buried there, they come back, but they're more aggressive and hungry and thirsty for bloodlust. The day after Lewis buries Church, the cat returns, only with a foul smell and an overall different cat. During Ellie's birthday party, Ellie runs into the street to pick up her long cat when a semi-driver playing on his phone swerves to avoid Ellie, but unfortunately hits her and the cat. Grief-stricken, the family goes back to Boston, but Lewis stays behind. Lewis drugs Judd with a high cocktail of his own, and Lewis digs up Ellie's body and buries her in beyond the cemetery. Later that night, Ellie shows up zombified, not remembering much and asking if she's actually dead. Ellie wants her daddy all to herself, and nobody else can have him but her. So, victim, transforming her face to resemble his long lost dead wife. Then Rachel and Gage returns home to find Lewis, but Ellie focuses on her mother, killing her, stabbing her in the stomach, and knocking out Lewis. Lewis wakes up from the slumber that Ellie puts him in, and he puts Gage in the car and tells him to not open the door for anyone but him. Lewis finds Ellie in the pet cemetery, and they battle to the death. Lewis gets the upper hand, but right before he can finish the job, Rachel returns from being buried beyond the pet cemetery and stabs Lewis through the chest. The movie ends with the 3 family members and the cat walk into the car where Gage is still waiting.
That is more than a summary. That is a total synopsis from start to finish. Great job.
That was it, huh?
And we're done. That's the movie. Right, let's go.
We're going to be doing that from now on, so.
You missed a few deaths along the way, right? I mean, there's a few college kids that die, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, the only death really is the kid that gets hit by a car, and what's his name? The dad tries to bring him back, and he haunts him throughout the rest of the movie. He's like, I'm trying to teach you the right thing. Don't go here. Don't do that.
Yeah.
So the reason why I left him out is because Pascal was not in it. It's Victor Pascal, Eric, and that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
And Pascal was a big part in the original movie, but in this movie, the guy's barely fucking in it. And it wasn't necessary. I even left out Zelda because it wasn't a big plot compared to the basic, just overall summary.
I mean, there's gonna be a lot of unnecessary things in a remake, though, and that's kind of what it is. Yeah, I feel like you're gonna be nitpicking a lot more. You set the bar a lot higher with something, and then you put bar even higher with something like the success of it. But that, thankfully, was a horrible. The part 2 at least was a horrible movie to begin with, so it kind of able to do that. We'll see it's you're not gonna please everybody, and I feel like they do it with a lot of things. Even if you do it like frame for frame, like they did with The Omen, Julia Stiles. They basically just reshot that movie frame for frame, and even that didn't work.
Yeah, they did for Psycho as well. So Pet Sematary opens up with the ending of the film, bloody doors, house on fire. You don't know what's going on, and then it cuts to the Creed family moving to their country home. So Lewis works the skeleton shift, he says, at a local hospital in Boston. He gets a promotion to work at a local university hospital. So he uproots and moves his family here so he could be a 9-to-5er and be a family man on the weekends. And right off the bat, as soon as we establish that character development in the car and they arrive, they don't even walk into the house yet. And behind the house is a parade of children wearing animal masks, cats, dogs, whatever,
Yep.
holding a dead dog, banging on a drum. Really?
Yep. First
Which-
thing you see, right? Good. The good
Yeah.
part of the good sign of a happy home.
Which I have a theory, Jordan, I'd like you to talk about. Are those zombie babies? I mean,
No, they're not.
are you sure?
Yeah, I'm
They-
100% sure.
Okay. I would like to hear why you say that.
Because in the book and in the original movie, this movie, they did not do it. But everybody knows who lives in this town that there is a place beyond the pet cemetery. So you want to ask me this? Let's go ahead and go to the backstory now. This place, this movie says it, and the book says it. These woods are haunted by the Wendigo.
Mhm.
That's why. So when you are buried beyond the pet cemetery, the Wendigo possesses you, whether you're a cat, a dog, it even possesses a bull or a human. It doesn't possess a goldfish or a squirrel. And it does, you do its bidding as a zombified corpse. So in 1946 was the first time that they resurrected a kid who died in World War II. Parents were grief stricken. They buried him beyond the pet cemetery, came back, became murderous, and the father shot his son and shot himself. So now that's in the book and that's in the original film. Now that was not mentioned in this movie. So to answer your question, Ed, let's assume that that is canon. So there has not been a resurrection of anybody in this town since 1946.
Okay.
Those kids just wore Now that's creepy, right, Eric? You move into a house, you're with your family. All of a sudden, there's these 8 kids walking behind your house, banging on a drum, wearing cat mask, holding a dead dog to get ready to bury it behind your house.
But
Like, what the fuck?
I'm also assuming this is the fucked up thing too, is that just because of this being the world of Stephen King, that all of these are within the same world. So I feel like this is the same world as of what it's going on. Everything's happening in the same Stephen King verse, and
Right.
yeah, that's creepy as shit. But just another normal day. In,
Yeah.
in the Stephen King verse. By the way, I am reading through. Did anybody hear the Cujo reference?
No, I missed it.
During is it Ellie's birthday scene?
Ellie's?
Ellie's, I mean, sorry.
Mhm.
Right after they sing "Happy Birthday," you can hear Judd talking about the Saint Bernard that went on a rampage
That was his Saint Bernard.
because of its rabies.
Yeah.
Well, he does talk about he had a dog that they brought back that his dad had to put down.
Yeah, they talked about that. Yeah. I didn't know that was a Cujo reference, but because that's in the book. So I figured that was just anyway. So Ellie, being the 10-year-old girl, decides not to move into her house and say, "This is my room," and start jumping on the bed. She decides to follow these kids who are never unmasked to the back of the house, to the pet cemetery, where she meets Judd, played by who, Ed?
One of the greatest actors of all time, John Third Rock from the Sun Lithgow.
He is great in this movie. I love him. If I had to choose between him and Herman Munster again, it would be John motherfucking Lithgow. This guy is Judd. This guy's great.
Here, I've said this before when we were talking earlier. Like, I think this movie was kind of below John Lithgow. Honestly, I mean, John Lithgow is a classically trained actor. He is incredible in everything he does. And he doesn't ever mail anything in. He really doesn't. And he doesn't here. But, I kind of like Herman Munster doing it because of the Southern accent just gives it a little bit more of a
draw.
Northern accent.
Well, I'm just saying he's you don't go down that road. You don't want to do that.
That accent is straight from Maine. That's why he did it, because the movie takes
really?
place.
That kind of long.
Yeah.
Well, I knew it was in the South, but I keep thinking of him from. That's what I meant. I keep thinking of him from My Cousin Vinny.
There you go.
To what? Mr. Gallo. To what?
So, Lewis's first day on the job gets introduced to this college student who got hit by a car, Victor Pascal. Now, the original film was gory. This scene was gory as well, because in the original film, when Victor Pascal arrived at the hospital, the university, he was already dead. This guy was still alive, and the nurses said, "I can see his brain," and his brain was pulsating out of his head and stuff.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
it was great.
It was
It was great. And Pascal even grabs him and says something to him, and then they call him dead. But while he's washing his hands, Lewis hears something, and behind him is Pascal sitting up straight and says, "You try to help me, so I'm going to help you." And then he vanishes. Right?
Into the
So, yeah. So later in the film, Church, their cat, who was played by 7 different cats, gets hit.
How do you know that?
I've done my research.
Useless.
Yeah, Jesus. Then we used to get drunk and just talk about movies. You fucking researched it? Holy shit.
Pet Semetary is a big fucking deal to me, sir. So
apparently.
Anyway, so we get Judd lets Lewis know that Church has been killed, and he doesn't know how to break it to Ellie. Ellie doesn't understand or know death yet. And this is when Judd says, "Come with me tonight. We're going to bury the cat." They go to the pet cemetery, and Judd is like, no, we're going to go beyond. And they go through the swampland. And while they're going through the swampland, the Blair Witch is there. You know, trees are being knocked over. Wind is blowing, like, whoo, you know, wind everywhere.
Howling,
howling. You don't see anything. It's all hearing. And that is when
that's the loons right there. That's the loons.
Right? And that's when he talks about the Wendigo and how you get all these markings and carvings on the trees. That the Micmac, the Indian Micmac tribe, used to live in this area, and they became a cannibalistic tribe because they were stalked by the Wendigo.
And ironically, they were Irishmen who went on to make hamburgers.
Okay, so
played paddywhack, gave themselves a bone.
There we go. So,
You filled the quota, I think, with that one.
So Lewis buries the cat, and later that night, the cat shows back up, smelling terrible, and still has the wound. Right? Now we get introduced to the backstory of Rachel, who is amazing in this film, and she tells us the backstory of Zelda, her sister with a terrible spinal disease. Now, you both have seen, well, Ed, you didn't see it, but Eric, you've seen the original. You remembered how that played out, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so first of all, Zelda in the original is played by a man. In this movie, he's played by a female. Now, this is where it's different.
I'm looking up I'm trying to look up names and details for you here. You're talking about Amy Semetz? Is that who plays?
She plays Zelda.
Rachel? She plays Rachel.
Rachel, yeah. Movie. She plays Rachel, yes.
Yeah. And then Alyssa Brooke Levine plays Zelda in this one. Oh, wow.
So this is how this is creepy, okay? I want the fans to really walk with me here. Ed, what does WWE stand for?
Walk with Elias.
There we go. So I want you to walk with me here, and I'm going to paint this picture for you. In the original, I'm not. In the original film, Eric, since you know Zelda pretty much from memory here, you know that she just kind of screams Rachel, and you don't really get much.
Yeah,
and
you pretty much just get the old timey kind of 80s actor-esque, and it's like, okay, picture, almost crummy acting. Yeah.
In this movie, Rachel's parents leave to go shopping for the day and leave her alone. She hears her name being called out, Rachel, Rachel, right? She opens the bedroom door, and you don't see Zelda. She's gone. And
Quote the Raven Nevermore,
right? She's gone for 2 days. Rachel is trying to sleep. Everybody's trying to search for Zelda, and Rachel is sleeping in her bed, and she's hearing crawling and scratching in the walls of her bedroom. And she keeps on hearing, Rachel, Rachel. On the 3rd day in the house, they had one of those old school Home Alone laundry chutes, right? From the second dumbwaiter. And she hears a noise in the dumbwaiter. She opens up the dumbwaiter. She sees nothing. And out of nowhere, Zelda falls with her legs over her head, spine ripped out, just looking like the chick from The Ring, dude. just fucking. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Oh, jeez, it's a chill, right? Like
Oh
Mhm.
God.
that's just so
Her.
fucked up, man.
Oh, dude, her lying awake in bed for 2 days, hearing the scratches and claws in the walls of the house and hearing her name. Oh, Jesus
Some fucked up
Christ.
stuff, man. Like there's a lot of. That's what this movie was. It was a lot of twists, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, exactly. It really was.
and yeah, that's what we
Ugh.
had to deal with. That's traumatic, isn't it?
Right? So after the Zelda scene, the director is not going to give us something to ease into. They're going to fuck us again. Lewis is pissed off that Church is the way he is, so he's going to kill him. Unfortunately, he cannot give himself to kill him, so he dumps him off in the woods, out in the woods somewhere. And it's Ellie's birthday party. And she goes out to the street to get a balloon. I forget.
They're playing hide and seek.
They're playing hide and seek. Her mom and her are playing hide and seek. And she walks out to the road, and who's walking to her but Church? So she runs out to the road to get Church. And when she turns behind her, here comes a fucking semi truck. He looks up from playing with his cell phone. He swerves not to hit her. And the truck himself doesn't hit her, but the oil on the back of it, the oil tank on the back of it, smashes the shit out of her. Just
Oh,
wrecks
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn. And oof. So they bury Ellie. So that's a twist because in the book, in the original movie, Gage died. The 2-year-old son died. But in this movie, they want Ellie to die. So they bury Ellie. And like I said in the plot summary, the family all goes back to Boston to her parents' house while Lewis stays there. And him and Judd have a drink, and he puts a nice little doctor cocktail in Judd's whiskey there, knocks him straight out.
Essence
Goes
of
to,
Nightshade.
right? Goes out to the cemetery to dig up his dead daughter and buries her beyond the pet cemetery, right? Later that night, he finds her in the basement. Hi, Daddy. Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
That's super creepy.
Right?
Super creepy.
Her face is pale. She has blue veins all throughout her face. And she goes, Am I dead? And he takes her upstairs and he gives her a bath. Now, this is creepy too.
Oh,
He's combing her hair, right? Combing her fucking hair. And he hears something and he splits her hair back and he can see the staples to keep her fucking brain in for when she got smashed by the tanker.
when they autopsied her and they opened her up,
Oh,
and checked yeah,
God.
it was that. Oh, that's one of the.
Oh.
That was the first. That was really the first moment for me that this movie became hard to watch.
Oh.
Not because it wasn't good, not because I wasn't scared and creeped out, because I was. But that moment was like too fucking real. That was too real.
Eric, what do you think? I mean, he's just combing her hair. And he's like, "What's that noise?" And he pulls her hair apart, and you got 20 staples going all the way back of her skull.
It's the reason why
Oh.
that something like that marks so well is just because it's a very casual detail that everyone kind of can
Yes.
relate to.
Yes.
It's so just something as simple. Oh God,
Yeah.
It's also the ASMR, the sound of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it sounds a certain way.
And it did too. It caught it. You could hear it clicking, and he's
Clicking
like,
like
"Oh,
metal."
nothing." Yeah, and she's like, "What's wrong, Daddy?" And he says, "Nothing. You just got a tangle in your hair."
Then he opens it up, and it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God!"
Yeah.
Now, this is the creepiest part in this scene for me. Not only is it creepy that he digs up his dead daughter and buries her. Not only is it creepy that he's bathing his 10-year-old daughter. That's weird.
I mean, that is what that is.
Yeah, but it's weird. And not only is it creepy that he sees that she has staples in the back of her head to keep her brain in, but he puts a nightgown on her, lays her in bed, and he says goodnight. And she goes, "Would you sleep with me tonight, Daddy?" I'm like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
She's gonna strangle you.
Oh,
Oh God.
The conversation that they have is like it's too like this movie it's not realistic, but it's like you can watch. You're listening to, and you're like, that definitely is a dad who crossed the line, and he's like when I say crossed the line, I mean he obviously brought his daughter back from death, and he's like he never thought he'd get to see her again. So the conversation they have is like, no, you're not dead. No, I promise you're not dead. No, mommy doesn't know you're dead. Wait, you're not dead. And he goes, well, wait a minute. What did you see? And she says, nothing. It's just black. There's nothing.
Yeah, she said she saw a church in the road. She picked him up, and then it just went to darkness. Now, Eric, I don't know if you remember this in the beginning of the movie or not, but this is why this is a big deal. And in my plot summary, I said he has everything but faith because he is the only one in the family that does not have faith. Rachel, when Church dies, is trying to explain to Ellie what death is and God and Jesus and all that stuff. And then he interrupts Rachel and says, well, no. There's no such thing as heaven and hell. Let's not tell this to her. They have this argument in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
So when she says, am I dead? Did I go to heaven? He's just like,
Yeah. It's like, what do you?
Yeah. It's like, how do you have that conversation with somebody who doesn't have the concept?
Hard to backtrack with somebody who's kind of been there, right?
Yeah. So now I did lie. I said there was a few creepy things. I got the last creepy thing with this fucking girl. He wakes up in the morning. She's out of bed. He hears ballet music. He goes downstairs. She put on her funeral dress that she was buried in, and she is dancing ballet in the middle of the living room floor.
He's like, why did you put that one back on?
And then she starts destroying pictures and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah.
oh, my God. So we find out that Judd's wife died. They did not explain why. In the book, you find out that she had cancer in the beginning and she hung herself. But in the movie, they didn't do that. And she tells Lewis, her daddy, that she only wants him for herself. So her first victim is Judd, which is a great fucking CG scene where Judd goes home. He knows that she's been resurrected. He locks all the doors. He grabs his fucking pistol, and he finds her. She's wearing the cat mask, and she takes off the cat mask, and her face is his dead wife.
You skip the part where she takes a scalpel from her dad being a doctor.
Yep.
And slices his Achilles from behind.
Yeah, that's the hard one to watch.
And it's legit. Like you can see that. Like they did a great job on it. You watch her cut in behind the Achilles, snap it off, and you watch that just snap up.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's too anatomically correct.
So she kills him, and then Rachel and Gage finally come back, and then the mom gets it bad.
Yeah.
Lewis is trying to save the day. He's locked out. He goes to Judd's house because he's trying to save Judd. He comes back, and this is where he finds Ellie has stabbed her mother in the stomach, and her mother just is telling Ellie straight up. Ellie's like, it's okay, mommy. We'll be together soon. And she says, you're not my daughter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow. What a thing to say.
A lot of emotion.
And right. Lewis finally breaks into the room, and Rachel is dying on the floor. And she says, whatever you do, don't bury me in the pet cemetery. And then boom, he gets knocked the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
When he wakes up, he puts Gage in the car and says, don't open it for anybody. He goes into the pet cemetery and he finds Ellie, and they have a big fucking battle. He gets ready to kill her, and then he gets stabbed with a fucking pole through the chest.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And he's dying and the mother stabbed him. So then they drag his body, bury him beyond the cemetery, and then the scene cuts back to the beginning of the film, like we said, with Judd's house on fire and Gage in the car, and then the three come back. Oof. Different ending than the original, right, Eric? Completely different.
So here's the thing about that is that because this is going to allude obviously to a spread of Wendigos going throughout the area, right? And because I said before about the Stephen King universe or whatever, with it being possible Cujos. I'm reading here now too. There's a picture of when they were driving back when Rachel and Ellie were driving back to Ludlow. That said Derry, 20 miles away.
Oh.
So I'm thinking we go above and beyond this ending, and we get a Freddy versus Jason type of thing, Pennywise versus Wendigo.
Nice.
Set up
Nice.
something new here.
We need to do a mini series for TV. Oh wait, they did that and it failed.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
did they for Pet Sematary?
No,
Yeah.
it was Castle Rock. Was it
Oh, okay.
the name of the
yeah,
show?
yeah.
Yeah, that failed. So
Well, so
let's-
does Pet Sematary 2.
yeah, starring Edward Furlong.
Yeah, you think that was the problem right there? Because what did you know? Either way,
No.
that was
No,
the 90s, right? And 92.
That was 1992. Yeah, 91, 92. This was after Terminator 2, and Pet Sematary 2 was just not at all what the source material was. It was just, ugh. So Eric, because I want to ask the same question before we get the popcorn rating. So the ending of the book is Lewis buries Rachel. He sits outside in his rocking chair. He plays cards to himself, like solitaire or something. And then all of a sudden, this cold, muddy hand taps him on the shoulder and says, "Darling," and a book. In the original movie, he's in the kitchen waiting. She walks in, her corpse does, says, "Darling," kisses him, grabs a butcher knife, cuts to black. In this movie, the whole family gets murdered and gets resurrected. Eric, which ending do you like more? And Adam asked you the same question after Eric.
Tough one because all three endings have a certain kind of road and significance that they go down. I guess the first one with the hand touching the hand seems to be a little bit more not poetic, I guess, mysterious.
Okay.
To open with the ending. The original movie version, where it's cutting to her with the butcher knife, is more of a scary movie ending,
Mm-hmm.
and where this one is just, well, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, well, I told you what I'm hoping for. I'm not gonna get it, but
Yeah, all hope is gone ending, really.
yeah, I don't know what else is gonna become of it. Like, is there gonna be? You can't
There's
go.
going to be a prequel.
Okay, a prequel.
Yeah, that's what the directors said. They said if the directors in the studio said last week that if the movie is successful, that they are going to do a prequel about that World War II soldier that was the first one to be resurrected in the 1940s.
All right, well, whatever. You can go back and do a Native American prequel, right?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do with Blair Witch, but they never did it.
I think I like the Butcher Knife one, the original movie. I'm not
The
trying
original
to
movie with the
be-
butcher knife?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not trying to be biased with it. I think that's just it's more it's open enough. It's not.
Okay.
That's what it is. I'll say that it's ajar.
Okay. All right. Ed, same question for you, man. Which out of the three endings do you like the most?
Well, I'm gonna have to say, it's like picking the best way to die.
Nice.
Seriously, because but I like the ending of this remake better, simply because it is so incredibly creepy and so hard to watch these three basically zombified versions of themselves come up to this 2-year-old boy locked in a car, and you're to assume whatever you want, but it's just so much harder to watch, which is one of the beauties of filmmaking. So yeah, I'm picking that one of the three.
Okay. All right. So then let's go over to our popcorn ratings. Ed, we always go with you first. What will be your popcorn rating for Pet Sematary 2019?
I'm going to give this movie a medium bag. John Lithgow, great. The guy who played the lead role, I forget his name off the top of my head, but he was really good. He was very, very good, very convincing. And the girl was incredible. The little girl did a fantastic job, and I look very forward to how her career progresses, because I think she's actually probably, based upon this performance, going to be something really good in her future as an actress. But I mean, it wasn't the greatest movie. It wasn't the greatest movie. There's tons of flaws with it, and it's so hard to watch as an adult, watching what they do to these kids. It's just hard, and for that it gets a medium bag.
All right, Eric, what will be your popcorn rating for Pet Sematary 2019?
I'm gonna be a stickler about it, and just say small bag because it's a remake. And though they stuck with it, and there are scary parts in it, the scary parts were all the jump scares, audio cues, and things of that nature. Or they had a lot of the creepy stuff that was in it, but it was lackluster with the acting. It seemed like John Lithgow could have was limited in his role, as albeit good as he was in it. Amy, Amy Semez, excuse me, who played Rachel, seemed to be the only one who was really committed. Everyone, well, maybe it's just the acting style, but that's what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, I struggled with this. I listened to the audiobook for the whole week preparing for this. I watched the original movie and I saw this in theaters twice. And I struggled. I didn't know what to do with it. This was a very hard one for me to rate. But Pet Sematary 2019 for me is going to get a large bag. This is a very, very good film. I don't know. I do not agree with you, Eric, that there's not good acting. I think what makes this movie so special compared to the original is that there actually is good acting, because in the original movie, they were just terrible, fucking god-awful parents. And in this movie, you actually felt the dad's pain for having to do the choices that he did in the film. I thought that the kids were just spot on great. There's not much you could do with the 2-year-old, but Ellie was good. She knew the role, she knew what she was doing, and she had fun in the role, I feel. And John Lithgow was just a perfect Judd. I was really happy with the film after the second time I saw it. The first time was more of a shocker, because what pissed me off was the ending. I was like, well, this is going to get a no bag. That's a terrible ending. That's not what I want. But after watching it again, it makes sense for this movie, because you have to do something different. You can't have Jason pop out the water at the end of the movie. You know what I mean? You just can't redo it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a large bag. I think it's very good. I think it's very, very good. So anyway, next week we are going to be doing something for you guys. We are not going to be doing a double feature. It is on our schedule. We were supposed to do Hellboy and Shazam, but we all decided as a group that we're just going to give you Shazam. That'll just be a fun movie for us to watch. Maybe one of us will check out Hellboy ourselves and maybe write a review about it. But Shazam itself, next week we will be reviewing Shazam. And then the week after that, the last review of the month will be Avengers Endgame. So we're getting very close to that movie, just a few more weeks away. So thank everybody for listening.
Don't forget this Sunday, upcoming Sunday, Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. Eric and I will be doing a review. We're going to try to do it live for you that night, and we will announce it if we're able to do it. We're going to try to do it. We've known that we've had some technical difficulties here. But we're going to try to overcome them. I do apologize. But look for that immediately following, hopefully, the airing of Game of Thrones this Sunday, if not probably within a couple of days shortly thereafter.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. Oh, please, go ahead, Eric.
No. I'm just saying that I'm pumped. I mean, it's going to be a holiday, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Game of Thrones Day, right?
Yeah.
Winter is here. Winter's here.
Yeah, it's come. It's here.
Yeah. Winter's here. All for the past 10 years, it's been winter's coming, and now it's finally here. So.
Well, I mean, the same with Thanos, right?
Yep.
Right. But Thanos is better.
Thanos is coming.
Okay. All right. Make sure to check us out at movieguyspodcast.com, movieguyspodcast.podbean.com, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Just search for Movie Guys Podcast. Also, download episodes on iTunes and iHeartRadio and on Spotify. Just search for Movie Guys Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Pet Semetary. And next week, we'll be coming back for Shazam. Have a good night.